Now let's take a closer look at that first mode, the Ionian mode, or the major scale, however you want to look at it. Again, here we go. We're going to do the first 3 strings, the first octave of it. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. You can go forward and backwards. And just like we showed at the beginning of the video series, there are different things you can do with this, right? You can make this a chord, right? So C is the first note in the key of C, therefore it becomes a major chord. You can do the bar chord version of this, or you can do the open chord version of this. Right? Either one of those are just ways to get the first, third, and fifth note of that scale, turning it into a triad, a major triad. So we can arpeggiate that. Now arpeggiating is just taking a chord and playing it one note at a time. So it makes a lot of sense when you take this shape, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 3, 5, C, E, G. Now those notes combined make a C major, right? So that mode, the first, third, and fifth notes of that mode are giving us a C major chord. Now we can go that one step further and make a 7th chord by adding the 7th note in that mode. 1, 3, 5, 7. So I just made a C major 7 arpeggio. 1, 3, 5, 7. You can do this across both octaves, right? So 1, 3, 5, 7. 1, 3, 5, 7. And I can use that to make a chord. The chord voicing for that would be this one right here. C major 7, or the higher octave voicing right here. Kind of like a staircase, right? So from this one scale, this one mode, we can derive these different chords, right? 1, 3, 5, C, E, G is a C major triad. 1, 3, 5, 7, C, E, G, B is a C major 7, 7th chord. I would really encourage you to start with just the first 3 strings and do 1 octave of this first mode, the major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? And be able to go forward and backwards with that until you're really comfortable, and then add the 2nd octave, right? So again, every finger gets its own fret. Middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky, index, ring, pinky. Into the 2nd octave, index, ring, pinky, middle, pinky, index, middle, pinky, right? And then backwards. Now, you can do that arpeggio, that 7th arpeggio, all the way through 2 octaves once you know that shape. 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, 3, 5, 7, 1, backwards. It might seem like we're doing them out of order again, but we're going to go right to A. And this is going to be the 6th mode, the Aeolian mode, otherwise known as the minor scale, right? So, again, every finger gets its own fret. We've got the 5th fret of the E string, which is an A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Index, ring, pinky, index, ring, pinky, index, ring. Okay, so there's the first octave. Now we can make our minor triad from that, taking the 1, the 3, and the 5. And then we turn that into a chord, an A minor chord, or the open A minor chord. Same thing, that's any combination of A, C, and E, the 1, 3, and 5. Now, if we wanted to make a 7th chord out of this mode, we'd go 1, 3, 5, 7. Now the shape for that is right here. It's the A minor 7, an A, a C, a E, and a G. Or the open chord for that would be lifting your ring finger up off a regular minor chord voicing, right? So, make sure you get this first octave down. And then, once you have that, take it across the entire string set, so 2 octaves full. Now this is going to be index, ring, pinky, index, ring, pinky, index, ring, like a super pinky, I guess you'd call that. Index, ring, index, middle, pinky, index, ring, pinky. So forward and backwards. Now again, that's the 6th mode in the key of C, right? The same notes, we just started with the 6th note, which is an A, and all the way through A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, right? The first mode was C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and the 6th mode, starting on that 6th note, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Now the reason we did that is because I want to take those 2 shapes and alter them to get the rest of them. So it's going to make more sense in a second when we start with the second mode, okay? The second mode in C is going to be D, right? Because the second note in C is D. So this is going to be D, and the name of this mode is Dorian. Now, you don't have to remember the word Dorian. Think of this as just the second mode, okay? Now, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, okay? If we played that in a hand shape, the D is going to be rooted on the 10th fret of the low E string. Index, ring, pinky, index, ring, reach, for like a super pinky type thing. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Now, this looks really familiar. I want you to think of this as the minor scale with what's called a sharp 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So sharp just means +1. The minor scale would be here. Here's the D minor scale. And here's the D Dorian scale. Now again, a lot of people might disagree and say that Dorian isn't really minor with a sharp 6, even though that gives you the same notes. They might think of Dorian as major with a flat third, so on and so forth, right? But I want you to think of Dorian as, or the second mode, D's mode in C as just having a sharp 6 and being the minor scale, okay? So now we can link these together, right? If we start on A and play the 6th mode, A minor, that sits right on top of the first mode, which is C, which sits on top of the second mode, which is D. And now, let's take D's mode and do it across 2 octaves. So we have index, ring, pinky, index, ring, super pinky, index, ring, super pinky, index, ring, pinky, index, ring, pinky. Right? So this one has a lot of symmetry. In fact, half the strings are index, ring, pinky in this, right? So index, ring, pinky. So Dorian is minor with a sharp 6. That's the only difference, right? Now, if we were to arpeggiate this, you'll notice 1, 3, 5, we get a minor triad, a D minor. D, F, A. Now, if we were to add the 7th note in the Dorian mode, 1, 3, 5, 7, we get a D minor 7 chord, which is the exact same thing as an A minor 7 chord as far as the numbers are concerned. It's just a 1, 3, 5, 7. Since what makes Dorian special is having that sharp 6 as compared to minor, it doesn't have anything to do with making minor 7 chords.